What's up, guys? So, I think it's a good time to start talking about the next NASCAR game, but I'm also gonna touch a little bit on the iRacing service because what I'm about to talk about is actually beneficial to anybody. If you are just looking forward to the next NASCAR game, or if you care about iRacing. So this isn't a wish list thing. It kind of is, but something I've always wanted to see, and I gotta be honest, I'm shocked it hasn't happened up to this point, and I'm asking myself why. Uh, I'm speaking specifically only of online racing at the moment, right? The career mode stuff, the offline stuff, I'm gonna do separate videos on that, uh, you know, in the future. But right now, I wanted to address this because I'm, you know, I'm on iRacing, uh, and I've never really enjoyed online racing. iRacing is a mixed bag for me. Um, I'm trying to make the most of it. There are races I really enjoy, but for the most part, there are just more. I would say the majority of the races just end in frustration, right? Um, and it really doesn't have anything to do with my lack of skill, which I already know. I'm not that good. I can live with that, right? I'm just looking to be able to run some good, clean laps and have some fun. Trying to make the most of it, right? That's where offline career mode stuff comes in because you can tailor it to your skill level. Um, and if everything works as it should, you should get a good experience. And if you're not that good and you want to experience what winning is like, you can always tweak the settings. When you're racing online, there's not much you can do, right? If you're not good, you're just not going to be good. But that's neither here nor there. That doesn't really matter to me. I just want to have fun. Why is online racing so frustrating and at times just not enjoyable, right? I'm not speaking for everyone. If you happen to be one of these guys that are so fucking good and fast that you're just up front all the time, you're not back there with the rest of us experiencing all the negativity. This is more for the rest of us, right? I think most people understand what I'm talking about, where I'm coming from. But this is something I've always wanted to see, and I'm just shocked that even on iRacing, you don't really get to see this stuff. So I want to show you real quick. This is iRacing, and over here, you have a league tab, right? So you can start a league, you create your own schedule, all that stuff, right? That's all good. Or you can find a league, right? So starting a league, it's simple enough. You put your league name that you want, the information of the league, and then it goes on and on. You create your schedule, and then you gotta hope people join. Or if you're popular enough and you have a large following, I'm sure that's not difficult at all. But for most people, you have to create a league. You got to get word of mouth going. You got to go on Reddit, other social media sites. Uh, you know, put the word out there, right? I just feel like there is a much simpler way to do things, and I don't think iRacing really. I don't think they've tried to do a better job. So if you're just some random guy like me and you're desperate to just join a league somewhere, because I will before I move on, the biggest issue I have with online racing, besides knuckleheads, right? I just feel like if you're part of a league, I think it always improves the experience because you can join races, like random races, like that's the way most of these games have been. iRacing is like that. They do have their own leagues and stuff, but it's not the same joining random races. You don't feel the same sense of accomplishment. Uh, it's just, it's, I don't know. It's a very finite window of entertainment. Whereas if you're in a league and you feel like you're racing for something, I think people actually, I'm not saying this cures all of the knuckleheaded stuff, but I do think people are a little more careful about how they race in a league race because um, you're racing for points. Like what you do in a league race, it matters. It feels like it matters because you are in a league. You're racing for points. You're racing for championships. It's not really just like a third place or a second place finish in a league race is actually a really good thing. Like when you do these random races online, you just join just for the hell of it. Second place feels, it doesn't, there's no accomplishment there. It's win or you're just the first loser if you're second. There's no sense of accomplishment. And you guys have heard me use that term for years now, right? I think that's the biggest thing missing from video games, especially NASCAR games. The best sports games make you feel a sense of accomplishment. And how do you do that? It's pretty simple. It's when you're playing for something and it feels like everything you do, there's a consequence to it. If you do something negative, or if you don't perform well, it actually matters. It means something, right? That's what a career mode should feel like. Instead of doing one-off races, it's just all that matters is you win or you're the first loser, right? At best, second place is the first loser. It doesn't mean anything. So how do you bring that sense of accomplishment and that feeling of like, wow, I'm really participating in something that means something? Well, the best way to do that is to be part of a league that has a schedule and you're racing for a championship, right? You're racing for points. So a second or third place finish is actually a big deal if you're in a league. It's not a win or, all or nothing, scenario. So I've always told people, if you're in iRacing, if you could find a league, you're going to enjoy the experience more. I've been trying to find a league because of my schedule. It's very difficult, but I'm going to show you right now the way iRacing does it. But you could create your own league, but I can tell you from personal experience, it's very difficult to get people involved, especially if, you're someone like me. Nobody really knows who I am, just a very small group of people. And I'm grateful for those who did participate, but it didn't really work out the way I was hoping. If somebody with a huge following actually went out and tried to do this, they would get they could run multiple leagues, right? So it really, that does help. But for most people, they got to start their own league. But if you're trying to find a league, you can go here, right? And then you put in certain things like you could search for a specific league if you happen to know one. There's culture. I don't know what this really means, but I just put enthusiast. Size of league, 20 to 50 cars. Car setup. Oh, let's see. I guess you could put both, but still. And then there's other tabs. But then you hit search, and then you get a whole bunch of leagues, right? So it looks like... there are a lot of things to choose from, but then you got to go in there, right? And I joined this league, East Coast Racing. But if you look here, there's no announcements have been made. It's been like this for a long time. Let's see. Sessions. No sessions are scheduled. Seasons. There's nothing happening, right? So you got to constantly check. Now over here it shows the truck series. There's stats here, right? But this is old stuff, right? There's nothing happening now, right? So then you hit schedule. Let's see. Look, this is all 2020, 2021. Yeah, this is dead. So I don't know what's going on, but I don't have a lot of time on my hands to be doing this, right? But this is not very user friendly, and I think there has to be a better way. I'm not saying get rid of this, you could still do this, but and by the way, I'm also talking about NASCAR video games, right? We've never seen them even try to give people an option of running a league. Like, people have to do this on their own. They got to keep their own stats and points and all this stuff. It's I cannot believe that through all these years, no one has even attempted to implement this in a game. So what I'm saying is, if iRacing's listening, anybody out there in world of game development, right? If you happen to be developing racing games, right? It's so simple. Add a way to run a league. All you need is a simple template. Now, this is only an example, right? It's the only way I could think of to show you guys. So, let me take a quick look. Hold on, let me change this. All right. So, I did this on Word. This is just for argument's sake, right? This isn't like anything official, but there should be a folder or tab, whether it's iRacing or whether it's a NASCAR video game or another racing game of any kind, right? Very simple to do. Online multiplayer, you go to League, you got a League tab. You hit League tab. Boom, this opens up. So at the top where it says League, you put the name of the league you want to run. In this case, Disco Cup Series. You put the start times. Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right? So if you're on PlayStation, if you're on Microsoft, on Xbox or PC, whatever it is, right? You put the start time of the league, the schedule, whatever, so people know. Okay, this league runs Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Then there's a members tab. You click to see field, right? So you click on that members tab. It takes you to a page and it shows you who all the members are. Whether it's your PlayStation tag, Xbox tag, whatever it is, right? There's a list of the members there. And the person running the league obviously can choose to kick people from there, right? If you got an idiot ruining the league for people and just driving like an idiot, you can kick them, right? As you should have control of that, or flag them, and so you could check out who's in the league, how many members, whatever. Then there's a schedule tab. You click to that. You click on schedule, and then that's where you make your custom schedule. You create the schedule that you want, right? Okay. There's a sign up tab. So that's really under members. I should have did that different, but if you click on members, there should be a tab for signing up. You sign in, and then you could join the league, whatever, right? If there's, if it's not full, whatever. Then there's a settings tab. So that is for obviously the person running the league. You click on that, you go in there, your settings, let's say you want to run 50% length races. Whatever, settings you want to run, right? So if you want to have, oh my God, it's not coming to me now, but all of your settings. So people know, okay, this is, you have assists on for this, or there's no tire wear in this league, there's tire wear in this league. You can have all those settings. People can check it before they sign up. And that is something, of course, the person running the league, if it's your league, you decide what those settings are, right? And then there's a stats page, right? So you got statistics. You go there, and then you have your point standings. You got your wins, your top fives, all that stuff, right? All your normal stats are in that page. Also, if you've won races, there you get a little, trophy or whatever. But there's a trophy room as well, right? So you could click on that, and if you've won races, any races you've won, those trophies to that particular track will show there. And if you click on the trophy, it shows you a closer view of the trophy, and it has your name on it, right? So or your your ID tag, whatever it is, right? So these are very simple, easy to implement uh oh my god, it's just features, okay? Very, very simple to implement. How hard could this be? And yet I think, and I want you guys to tell me honestly, wouldn't this make online racing more interesting for you? That you're racing in a league, you're racing for points, you're racing for a championship. I honestly think it would promote, I think, people to race at least a little more carefully. I'm not saying it would get rid of all the dumb shit. There's no way to get rid of that, but at least gives you a feeling like what you do matters, like you're racing for something. That is the biggest key to any sports game. As a developer, you should always be thinking, what can I do to make the player feel a sense of accomplishment? That what they do in the game actually matters. It leads to something, whether it's positive or negative. If it should be based on your performance and the decisions you make. There's a lot I can talk about for offline and career mode, and I'm going to save that for a separate video. But this has always bothered me, that even iRacing doesn't do this. They give you a way to start a league and do all that, but you still have to put the word out. You got to use social media. It's just not user friendly to me, to be honest. They could simplify it. They could make it more user friendly. And how hard could this be? This is a very simple page. Every NASCAR video game should have this. Why haven't we seen anything like this on a console? This is so simple. And year after year, we've gotten racing games, and it could be not just for NASCAR, any game. You should have the ability to run a league. Very simple. People can join, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment. It gives you a feeling like I'm not just jumping into a random online race that doesn't mean anything, and it's all or nothing. And it's just people dive bombing 3-4 wide because second place, who cares? But when you're part of a league, when you're running a schedule, when you're racing for points, it means something. This is my biggest peeve, I think, with online racing in general. Why I've never been really turned on to online racing. And I think this is a great way to get people more interested, or to care more about online racing. Again, we can go back to, hold on a second, iRacing, and you could see here, it's just very, you can do better than this, right? Find a league, and then you gotta search, and then you gotta go, and it's like, all of these leagues are run individually, okay? And I don't know anything about these leagues. You got to click on it. Then you got to do research. You got to go to their website. You got to see how to join, what the rules are. And like I said, there's not a lot going on. You just pick a random league. Are any of them running? Let's see. Off season, season 2. Let's see. Schedule. 2023. Okay, so this is last year, November 7th, 2023. So they just had I don't know. It's like, it's hard to follow what's going on. Maybe I'm dumb, but it just feels, it feels more complicated than it needs to be. So what I'm talking about is simplifying this on iRacing. Okay. And making this a thing on on video games. Why can't this be in a video game? It's just, I can't believe it, man. We're about to hit 2024. And I have yet to see any video game on a console that has even attempted to do this. Like, especially with all these NASCAR games we've had this past decade, going back to Eutechnics, the concept of having a league as part of the online multiplayer, I don't get it. What are these developers thinking? Why are they overlooking this? It's so simple, and I think it would drive up interest. And I would love to be a part of a league. I'm really, I can tell you from personal experience, I've only been in like, well, besides the league I ran, which didn't turn out to be all that great. Not the fault of anyone. It's just the way it is, because it's hard to do it, and there has to be a simpler way. So setting up a system like this, or not even a system, it's just a simple page, and then everything is linked. Like, you just click on a tab, it goes like your race settings, your statistics, you go there's a whole page for that. Also, every time someone wins a race, right, and you go to the stats page, there should be a little thing there with a photo of the the person that won, right? Whatever the character you made, for yourself. In victory lane with the trophy and the fucking confetti everywhere and all the champagne and all that. So after each race for that week or whatever, in the statistics tab, that player gets their image and on top of the car, whatever it is, and a quick little article about them, their name, they won, and blah blah blah, and telling you, okay, he's now third in the point standings, and simple little things like that, to me, add a little more immersion to everything and a sense of accomplishment. So I don't know, man. Like, I would like to see stuff like that. Why don't we see things like this? Why haven't we seen things like this? It just reminds me of the lack of innovation. This is not even innovative. This is like, really? This should have always been a part of these games, and we don't see stuff like this. Online racing has always been, okay, you just go to online multiplayer and then you go and you fucking join a fucking room or a race. And you run the race and then it's over. And then you go to another race. It's an exercise, right? But the exercise doesn't have a payoff. It doesn't have a sense of accomplishment. It doesn't, like I said, the number one thing in any video game should make you feel like what you do matters. So, that's pretty much my thoughts on the online multiplayer side of things. I hope iRacing, actually thinks of doing something like this for the next NASCAR game. This cannot be hard to do. This just seems very simple to me, and it would definitely give me an incentive to be a part of online racing, and I think it would make the experience better for most people. I really do believe people actually try harder to be, mindful of how they race when they're in a league, when they're racing for points. So let me know what you guys think. I'll be doing career mode videos as time permits, but I wanted to get this out the way. So let me know what you guys think. I look forward to your comments later.